Check this out. Read this right there. See where it says brags? Look where my middle finger's at. See right there? Right there. See where it says brags? Right where my middle finger's moving right here? Watch where it points. See? B-R-A-G-G-S. See that S at the end right there? Brags. See it? B-R-A-G-G-S. Right there where my middle finger's pointing. There's an S at the end. B-R-A-G-G-S. Organic. See? Brags. Organic. See how it says organic right there? Read that real close. See O-R organic, and then it says brags right there. See B-R-A-G-G-S. Notice that S at the end? See the S at the end? Pay close attention to that fucking S right there. Look at that S. Brags. See? With an S. And then look what they do. They change the title around and call it brag. You see B-R-A-G-G. Where's the S on the front? Because it used to be called brags. I remember it. Same with Jiffy peanut butter. It wasn't called Jif. It was never called Jif. Never. It was called Jiffy. Jiffy peanut butter. This was called brags. Right here. See, look, they changed the name. Now you don't see it on the back of this one right here. It says brag. They changed the whole label and took off a bunch of the good stuff. So look at this label's got all this stuff on it. Look at this, has nothing on the back. Look, see, they took it all off. See, but this has a bunch more writing right here. A lot more stuff than this one has. See, this one has barely any. Boom, just this is the cover and that, and then it goes back to that. And just that little bit right there. But this one has all this on it. This was the old bottle. Look at all that on there. That's where it says brags at. Over here. Look at that, see? And it tells you, look, what else it says. All that stuff right there. Organic, good for you, from the earth with the mother. Look at all that. Look at all that stuff it says. Healing recipes. See that? See how it talks about how good this stuff is for you? All that stuff is proclaiming how good it is for you. I'll read it. This is called the Mandela effect. This is what they keep doing to you. It's a big hoax. They're just changing the labels. There's nothing going on. They're just changing the fucking labels. That's why it makes it look like that things have changed, but nothing's changed. They just changed the labels. I have one here that says brag, and I have one here that says brags on it. So I'm showing you proof. I kept the old bottle to show you that it used to be called brags. That's why they just changed the labels on these fucking things. Okay? That's what your Mandela effect is. It's fake. Look, it says vegetarian health recipes. Brag vegetarian health recipes. Brag apple cider vinegar. Miracle health system. It calls it a miracle health system. Health science. Yeah, it's all kinds of vegetarian health recipes. It says for super energy and long life. That's what it says. This causes long life and super energy. Delicious, natural, raw foods. Cooked vegetarian style. See? This is what you're supposed to be eating. Right here. But then they changed the label and they didn't say any of that good stuff on this one. They took all that good stuff off here and just gave you a plain fucking label. The only thing it says is apple cider vinegar and brag. They took off everything. It says, the only thing it says is with the mother. That's the only good thing it says on there. The rest of it's just plain nothing. Look, nothing. They took off everything to tell you how good it was for you and changed the label to brag. See, this one's just brag. There's no S at the end of this one. There's nothing that says brags on here at all. Because this is the new one that they made when they tried to get rid of the way it used to be spelled, brags. It's called brags, but they want you to think that you're going crazy. You know, there's some freaking there's some CERN or some shit creating something that's able to warp time and change the labels on things and create a different reality for us. It's a bunch of bullshit, man. They just change the labels on things and make you think you're going fucking crazy. So the Mandela effect's fake. It's just them changing the labels. And Luke, in the movie Star Wars, when he says, "No, Luke, I am your father," he says, "No, Luke, I am your father," not "I am your father." He doesn't say, "Luke, I am your father." He says, "No, Luke." He says, "No" first. In the original Star Wars, he did, and then they took it out. And even James Earl Jones, who plays Darth Vader, when he was talking in a sit-down talk show, talking to somebody, he was doing his scene just to have fun, and he said, "No, Luke," too. He was, "No, Luke, I am your father." So he was replaying his scene, having fun, and he even said, "No, Luke." So it's always said that. And then you look at the new movie, and it just says, "I am your father, Luke. I am your father," without the "no." And this is like Bragg's, the same thing. That's the Mandela effect. We just busted that Mandela effect wide open and showed how fake it is. Okay, it's a Hollywood stage setup that the government does, and they also take people when people don't die. Like Prince didn't die, Michael Jackson didn't die. All these stars don't die. They just take them to other places off of the flat Earth. They're just flat and infinite, and goes on infinite and flat forever. And they got all that land to do whatever they want to. And those big trees that I'm telling you about that used to be here, from Devil's Tower's a tree stump, and all mountains are petrified giant tree stumps. Well, you remember that. And that's what we're missing out on, is the forests that we used to be in. Those big rocks that you find on beaches, the big old round ones, those huge ones, those were the fruits. Those are the leftover fruits that fell from those trees. And they just petrified. And those jars, the things that they call jars. This is a big jar. No, that was a fruit. That was the shape of that. And so there was different shaped fruits, and they were huge, the size of cars, the size of chairs, big sofas and shit. That's what we used to eat from. We had all the food we could eat, we had all the territory we needed, and we could do whatever the hell we wanted. And now look at us, enslaved in one area only. We're kept in one area only, enslaved and trapped in the flat Earth by the Antarctic Treaty and the perimeters and the borders and all the military and the Royal Navy and the Navy and the Royal Navy. All those people are set up, the Homeland Security and all that stuff set up as a ruse just to keep you trapped from the flat Earth. Because flat Earth's the most important thing in the world, and that it goes on forever infinite. And those trees that used to be here, all mountains are tree stumps. So imagine those trees we used to live in and eat from, and how free we were. We could take mushrooms all day long and smoke weed and do whatever the hell you wanted, and you didn't have to answer to nobody, only to yourself, man. And we didn't even speak back then. We didn't have language or anything. I have dreams of these trees all the time, too. I always have dreams of them, and I'm back in those trees and in these lands and stuff like, and this matrix that they put you in, this fake matrix, pulls you away from that constantly and puts you in a fake state of reality. That's what they've got you in, is a matrix. It's fake. It's all fake. It's all artificial. Like Westworld, the movie show Westworld, they talk about those trees too. They show the big mountain mesa tops in the background, and then they sit there laughing with a wry expression on their face, wearing Masonic outfits. They know what happened. This is Westworld, baby. You're in Westworld, all right? You're in the Western world, and it's all artificial. That's why in the movie show Westworld, he says, your whole world, Anthony Hopkins says, your whole world is artificial. Because they know. They know the real reality of that you don't know. That you used to be free and live in these big trees, and now you don't even know where you come from or anything, and they've got you spinning on a fake spinning ball, telling you you're in this thing called fake space. And the only people who can go to space are people like Captain Kirk. William Shatner, he just went to space. He's the only one that's allowed up there. People like him, Star Trek's, because he starred in Star Trek, he can tell you that space is real. He's the only one that gets to go to space. And if space was real, we'd all be going there like it was Disneyland every weekend. You'd be going to the moon and back and forth to space like it was nothing, man. Just like you were going to the store, okay? It would be that easy by now. With the technology we have, that shows you right there. They would have gone to the moon and back a bunch of times already, okay? Nobody's ever gone back, and they lost the telemetry data. They lost all the data, and they've never been back. How come? You know what I mean? Just think about it, No way. We would be all over space. We'd have our own spaceships by now and traveling around to the moon on our own. We wouldn't even need them. That's the way technology has gone so fast with, stuff like that. So that that's fake. There's no moon. The moon is a hologram in the sky that they put up there to fool you and deceive you, just like the stars or drones with lights on them, okay? As I say in my other videos, I talk about all this stuff. Stars don't move, but these stars are moving all over the sky, and they're just drones that they've got, control of. and they put them up above us, and told you that they're these things that are millions of miles away, and we're supposed to, heed to them, and they cause astrological changes and all this crap. None of that stuff's real. Everything's fake. History, astrology, all this shit, tarot, it all's Freemasonry. It's all Freemason deception, and Freemason flat Earth deception is what it is. And they're always talking about the trees. That's why the Tower card in the tarot, if you look at the Tower card, there's a tree stump at the bottom of it. It's a tree stump with a tower coming out of that. Every Tower card has a tree in it and a tree stump, showing you that the towers are really trees. Okay? And we used to live in these big trees, and all the cities that they built and everything, you're just trying to mimic the old trees that we used to have, but they're never going to come close to the beauty that we used to have here. We used to have way much more beauty and freedom, and everything you needed was free, and you didn't have to worry every day about paying your bills and taxes and getting sick. All that shit, you didn't get sick, you didn't have to worry about bills, you didn't have nothing to do except what you wanted to do, and everything was always great. It was always beautiful and working out the way it was supposed to. It's them that fucked it up, okay? The government and this greedy Freemasons and greedy people, and good against evil. These evil people have just taken over and inversed everything. Everything's reversed now. So you're living in an inversed world. I just want to let you know that. You need to get to the center hole at the North Pole, where God is a tree at the North Pole. God is a tree in Mount Meru. We need to get there into the Aurora Borealis and breathe in the Aurora Borealis and become one with enlightenment. We need to think of only enlightenment and become that. All of us do. And go vegan and stop eating meat and seek enlightenment, until the day you die, until your last breath. That's what your mission here is. And help others, help all the children and all of us get rid of this oppression and tyranny that's in our lives. That's your goal here. That's what you should be fucking doing, instead of sitting there eating ice cream every night, talking about going to Disneyland in your next vacation. Okay, stop talking about all that shit and start getting back to reality. What are you really here for? You're gonna let your children wear masks in the future and get vaccinated and go through all these drills that they're putting us through. Your life is a drill. You think you're happy and you got it made. You don't. You're a slave. You go to work every day and you're a fucking slave, no matter what. You're a slave, and you come home and do the same fucking routine every day, and you know it. You know it's monotonous and it's going to kill you. You're going to end up in a hospital bed someday. You're going to die in your own house or apartment just because of the same humdrum routine every day, that you don't get any change or adventure in your life. And when you have no adventure and no change and everything in your life, it'll kill you. No lack of action and lack of adventure and freedom will kill you. And it's killing everybody around me. I'm seeing everybody drop off like flies. I'm sure you are too. I'm sure you've seen a lot of death in the last couple of years, in the last 3 or 4 years that you've never seen before. This world's cruel, you know what I mean? It runs over people who don't do the right things. So you better pay attention to what I'm saying. And you better live by what I'm saying and listen to every word of it and do it all, or you're going to die. You're going to suffer and die, just like my mom's dying and everybody around me is dying. Okay, because they've chosen the wrong things to do. You can't sit around eating meat all day and sugar and drink and smoke cigarettes and do all these bad habits out there that they put out there for you and expect to live. You're not going to live. You're not going to live past 75. My mom can't even get out of bed now, and my brother has to wipe her ass. Okay, and she's going to die here in probably the next few weeks. So screw all you who don't believe anything that I'm saying. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You better listen to every word I'm saying, and you better take heed to all of the words I'm saying, and keep listening to my videos, because I'm going to keep pumping out truth, and I'm the only one that's giving it to you straight, okay? The real truth, right here at Jim Lotus. And I'm still in the best shape ever, too. I work out every day, and I'm vegan, and you better listen to me, okay? You want to survive, you come with me. You listen to me, and we're going to wake this world up and make this world a beautiful place again. But right now, we've got a lot of work to do, so get busy. Get ready to go to work. I love you all. Flat power.